So I just felt like taking my red '03 Cobra out for a drive and going to get something to eat, and then go for a nice evening drive around the old airport. This is my favorite time of day, when the sun is down but the sky's still bright and it's warm outside because it's the spring or summertime. So it's the perfect time to take the Mustang out and go for a drive. I find myself wanting to do it all the time, but just the way life is, I don't get to do it every night. So only once in a while do I actually do it and take the Cobra out. Having a family is important, and it usually takes the priority, putting kids to bed and doing things instead of going out and driving around all the time. But I do find time to take the Cobra out when I really, really want to, and this was one of those nights. I ended up stopping at this gas station just to get a couple of videos and pictures. This gas station is near the high school where I went to, and I used to fill up here all the time with my Laser Red 97 Mustang when I was in high school. And so I haven't been here for several years, even though I drive by it a lot, mostly because I just put the 91 Clear fuel in these cars when they sit. But I just thought it was a cool gas station picture. The gas stations are fun at night when they're all lit up like that, and the Cobra looked great there. And so I just had this flashback of what it was like in those early years when I started driving, and if I were to see this Cobra at this gas station where I was often, that would have been so cool. So I just brought my Cobra into the gas station, and I created a moment that I only wish I could have had back when I was in high school. Beautiful red 10th anniversary SVT Cobra. So I went over and drove around by the dealerships. There was this cinnamon stick color Challenger TA, which is pretty cool. I think some of them came with the 392. This one had the 350, the 5.7 liter, but pretty cool car. My uncle had a burnt orange 70 Challenger 446 pack RTSE, so this is very similar looking in color, but pretty cool. So then I took the Cobra with my brother, and we went and filled up with that 91 Clear fuel. And just a couple blocks away from this gas station, we saw a BMW that looked like it had a busted wheel and ball joint, so we thought we'd cruise back over there and check it out. Here's the beautiful Cobra, torch red, looking great under the gas station shade. Awesome car, love it. So we drove over to check out this BMW, and it was just fun to be in our car and go see this other car sitting here, and this is what it was.
Bro's got stance. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, dude, look, the rim has a chopped on it.
Does it? Oh yeah. Got it like right on the M logo, man.
I was just sitting in a church parking lot, and when we came back and drove by another time, like a couple hours later, the tow truck was there, flatbed, and it was pulling it up onto a flatbed. So we got back to my brother's house, and he was like, all right, let's take my Cobra out now. So we enjoy doing that. We'll take turns, and instead of just taking both cars to the same place, we enjoy the fuel spent driving each car separately and together where we can talk and hang out. So we took his Cobra. then on another day, it was another glorious evening, and I just had to take the Cobra and go drive it around, even if it wasn't very far. Got the Cobra all tucked away in for the night, and then on another morning, it was a nice morning and I wanted to get the orange Cobra out. It's been too long since I've driven it, and I love to keep the car driven often so that the camshafts stay coated with oil. I know it's probably a very rare case, but there was a Terminator that had 300 miles on it, and it sat so long that when they did start it, the cams were dry and it chewed up the camshafts. Now, of course, that's a very extreme case of something like that happening. This car's been driven often enough, it's not going to be like that, but I just like the idea of letting the oil circulate through the engine, get it up to operating temperature, and always have everything coated. I also did transfer the battery over to this car, so it hasn't started in a while. was fun to drive it around a little bit. And then on another morning, my brother and I really wanted to go drive his Cobra around. I had been really wanting to drive that morning. It was a really nice morning, and I wasn't really doing anything, and I actually went to go get the keys to my orange Cobra to drive it, and he called me and said, "Hey, you want to go for a ride in the Cobra?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So I put the key back on the rack, and we took his Cobra for a nice drive. We both had the same idea and the same desire to do it, so we really enjoyed that morning. It's fun to drive these cars around together. There were a lot of old people doing that, covering their ears when we drove by.
Yeah.
So the rest home where my mother-in-law is was putting on a car show, and it's very common for rest homes around here to put on free car shows, and they give you dinner if you bring your car, and it gives the residents something to do, and I think it's pretty cool. I've gone to a few of these at the other homes, and so I was excited when they announced that her rest home was going to be putting one on. A lady with a walker right by the Mach 1. Here's my wife coming in the GT.
How about you? Anyone. We'll take anyone. How about you?
66 Mustang Fastback belongs to the guy right here in the red hat walking. Nice guy. He's known for the old Mustangs in the community. He's restored a ton of them, and I bought my other 01 Silver GT from him years ago.
I think I remember that. Yeah, so this is probably, I think the 09s, this is 5 1/4 horse. They went 500, 500.
So this GT500 has the new Gen 5 Whipple 3 liter. Pretty cool. Boys and I walked our mother-in-law and their grandma up to her room, and then we went out to the blue Mach 1 to take it home. We were going to go stop at the store for a minute real quick, but we were the last couple cars here at the show. Mach 1 was looking great. Beautiful time. We went to the Costco just a couple blocks away, and there was a Scat Pack Challenger here with a shaker hood, so I thought it was kind of cool to see two shaker cars right next to each other. I love muscle cars. I really appreciate the Challengers and the Camaros and the GTOs, the Mustangs, everything like that. There's a Camaro over here too. I think it's really cool that the muscle cars were back and alive in the last couple decades, and that you had really cool options like this. Has done a really good job with these Challengers. I like the emblems and the packages, the wide body, all that cool stuff.
Shaker hood. Shaker hood.
So after we did some shopping, we came out and the Challenger was gone, but it was a really nice evening and I wanted to take a couple pictures of the car. The sky looked really nice, so I pulled over just in the middle of the parking lot and took a couple pictures.
Chicken delight.
So I've been daily driving the Silver GT, and I went and got a breakfast sandwich, and then I went to go run a couple errands and drop off some stuff at the different post offices, and I noticed how dark this curb is from people rubbing their wheels up against it. It's just completely black, and once you start looking at stuff like that, you'd notice it a lot. I just noticed each side of the parking lot just had tons and tons of black rubber on the curb. Look how bad that is. So many people hitting that. I went out and got a hamburger and the blue Mach 1. Wanted to drive it around a little bit, and then I'm going to trade it out for the yellow Mach 1.
We'll take that card in with us that was parked next to it.
Alright, well, time to get the blue Mach 1 put away, and we're going to take the yellow Mach 1 for a little while. I'll swap those out and enjoy the yellow one for a little bit. not sure what kind of Audi this was, but it was a two-door with a window banner, and he came ripping up behind me when he saw me leave the parking lot, and he got next to me, and we went, and I gave it to him pretty good. So Mach 1 did a great job beating down on that Audi. I wasn't sure if he was going to give me a pounding or not. Some of those can be really fast. Some of them are supercharged V8s. I don't know what that one was, but it wasn't faster than the Mach 1. I was meeting my wife. She was driving the Silver GT, and we caught up to her. We were coming from two different parts of town, and I had the boys with me, and we were meeting up to go have some Wendy's and enjoy time together. And the GT and the Mach 1 looked really good together. Awesome to look out the window and see these cars. So just really fun to, meet up and go places and see the GT driving around, and then back at it. Here she goes. This Mazda 3 sped up and wasn't about to let me over. Then a couple minutes later, this happened. I just nailed this rock. I knocked it into the E-lane. This rock was in the middle of the road. I couldn't see it because I was following a semi-truck. And as soon as the semi-truck went over it, I was right behind him, and it was too late to go anywhere, and it went right between my wheels and bashed the bottom of my car, hoping it didn't hit the oil pan. I think it hit the metal brace that goes on the back of the K-member under the oil pan and the transmission. I think that's what happened. One of those gashes there. Luckily, the pan's good. I think it would have hit this actually because it's low. I think so. I think we're good. It's probably that. As long as the oil pan checks out, I'm good. And I took our boys to a thing at the college, and then she was going to have to leave early, so we took both cars. She took the GT and I took the Mach 1, and we saw the Granny GT parked there while we were there. Saw a glimpse of it. There's the Granny GT.
Who stepped on?
So that'll about do it for now. Pretty good little update. Having fun with the cars, driving them around, taking turns with the different cars, spending time with my brother and our different Cobras, having fun with friends and stuff. So really neat, awesome time. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more Mustang content.